not every year's a success. You know, the difference between a great vintage and a not so good vintage is literally comes down to the weather. It comes down to how people have struggled to make the best of what they've got. So you've got to include that, and people buy into it. People want to know about that. They might not want to know an awful lot about it, and that's the thing about wine. When people come here to try our wines, they don't want to know everything about every aspect. Some people are really into it, and other people, they just want to enjoy a glass of wine. I don't want you to spend hours chatting to them. But it needs to be there. Your story has to be there. Otherwise, you could just be another wine shop selling wine from wherever. See, from the road, you'd think there was nothing wrong. And it's our best quality still wines come from here, and that's been hit the hardest compared with the ones at the top that you've seen up there, which are they're sparkling wine varietals. So I'm just hopeful of this warm weather we're going to get over the next, I mean, it's going to be ridiculous. Do you know what? On Tuesday, it's going to be 27 degrees. And we've been having typically 14 degrees day after day with a wind chill factor. If it gets to 27 degrees and we don't have any wind, the vines then will hopefully come out of their dormancy, which they've gone back into because of the frost. And then it'll look a different picture. I mean, if it was like this all over the whole vineyard, it would be a normal year. It's all good. Also, this is further ahead than it would normally be at this time of the year. So we moved here in 1998. The opportunity came available for us to rent 750 acres, including the manor house that you can see in the background. So for us, it was a marvellous opportunity because we were able to have all of our livestock on one side. I'd built the sheep flock up from 200 ewes to 1,200. We had a small beef herd as well, and a very small area of arable crops. But we could see the advantage of having a mixed operation, being able to provide our own needs. And since then, it's changed quite dramatically because of farming pressures. So in 2006, we planted our first vines. At that time, we decided just to plant 2 hectares because if it didn't turn out to be any good, then it wouldn't be so devastating if we had to pull it all out again.
The original planting of vines was his sort of his idea, and then yeah, I probably wasn't so into it at the beginning. I was more into farming, hence why I went off to Plumpton and did my foundation degree in agriculture, and then ended up, yeah, it just sort of it went from strength to strength. So it was a very good idea on his behalf, really.
You've got to you've got to make decisions based on hard facts rather than romantic aspirations. And for me, that has been really important. And I do see that the way that our industry is growing is there is a core of that, but there's also a lot of romantic aspirations. There's also a lot of investment money going in that's not necessarily based on sound knowledge. Whereas if you go to the more traditional regions of the world where it is based on how good the wine is and how good the ground is and what sort of are the yields economic and can you get the ripeness factors. So we've been lucky and we've grown slowly because we needed to make sure all of those pieces of the jigsaw fitted together. The hardest thing about growing grapes and making wine is actually not that, it's selling it. Part of our business is we sell grapes to other wine producers because it gives us cash flow. It's a really important part of the business, and we wouldn't have got to where we are now without being able to do that because it gives us a ready income every year. So but we're entirely dependent on the market. It's not like selling wheat where there's a global price and you hook into that as to whatever it might be in terms of quality. Growing grapes is very much a case of what people are prepared to pay for it. So the last couple of years has been a lack of demand driven by the massive harvest of 23, and then this year has been a particularly bad frost year for most of the producers across southern England. And that I think that's nature, and nature's going to redress the balance. And whilst we won't have an awful lot to sell, we will have hopefully quality, and we might get a better price for it. So I liken a lot of English wine production to an upside down pyramid. So people start off with an awful lot of money, and then it falls away till the money dwindles and dwindles, and they lose interest because they haven't got the other things in place. For us, it's been the other way, so it's taken us a long time, but we've built it on sound foundations, and we're building it one brick at a time.
In terms of farming, it's pretty isolated, isn't it? This is far from it. You can be working a tractor 1 minute and then speaking to 15 people the next. Everyone gets their own time with us, and we're trying to give them the best experience that we can.
They like that family feel, that relaxed vibe, really.
It's very laid back. It's not.
It is.
Yeah.
And even when we do the events with the music and the pizza, it's quite heartwarming, really. You see everyone's shoulders drop, and we're allowing them to have that space to relax. And of course, wine helps. If you look behind us, you'll see the view, and it's a pinch me moment. We sometimes forget we're in England, let alone Winchelsea. We're a mile from the sea, we're 30 miles from France. We're so lucky that this is our environment to be working in. And yeah, I think people would be grateful for our passion and grateful for our time more than anything.
For me, having a son and a daughter-in-law, next generation that keen to take it on is really, really important, because a lot of the work that I do is not about making money for me, it's about giving them a future. So, and not only that, but it's when it comes to grandchildren. I know, a lot of people talk about that, but for me, and I don't know about great-grandchildren because they're so far away, you'll probably never meet them. But that line of succession where people work the land, they have an understanding of where they've come from and an idea of where they want to be. So it is a very important factor. I think, a lot of farmers, the reason they work the land is because of the love of it, but also because they've got their son beside them or their grandson, and it is farming all around the world. It's not just here, it's everywhere.